Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for always clicking on my videos. I appreciate you. This is a new video that we are starting today. I just wanted, I don't know what I'm going to title it, but it's basically a day in my life or what I get up to daily. I hope you guys are doing well. If you if this is the kind of um, content that you like, don't forget to subscribe or hit the notification bell or give us a like so that you can get a notification every single time I upload a video. Earlier on when the video started, you saw me starting to cook the wheat I don't know what to call it, wheat and red kidney bean soup or whatever, but that's what I cooked there. And on the other side, I was slow cooking the beef. So, but I didn't share that with you. I only shared with you when I only shared the soup with you guys. So the beef we will see when I'm dishing. I find it very funny that at this point in our lives, we are so traumatized by the ends that you have to keep your sugar in a very tight container. Otherwise, it will be infested. I cannot use my sugar canister anymore because they are able to get into it. But what can we do is the situation right now. What do you guys do with your used oil? I mean, I do have a used oil that I keep using over and over again, except if I fry fish, because sometimes the taste of fish it's not really good on other things. But I do keep my used oil I use for frying the chips. But there is a point where there's a point that when it gets to that point, I don't use it anymore, or I will use it to fry instead of using it to deep fry. Anyhow, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm okay too. And please stick around, watch till the end, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Whenever I'm slow cooking beef, I always finish it off in the oven for an hour or so, and it comes out so tender. It will literally be falling off the bones. It's just, but I would do that with cast iron. I don't know what happens. The cast iron, the oven combined, what it does, I don't know. But I do know that I can cook my beef on the stove for an hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. It depends what I'm cooking or the type of cut I'm cooking. And then I will take that beef from the stove to the oven at 180 to 190 degrees, and let it cook in there for about an hour. Man, it comes out so tender, so tender. I love it. If you want tender meat, try that, including your stew. Cook it on the stove top and then finish it off in your oven, obviously using cast iron, and let me know how that goes. Like, it gets so tender. And another thing that I love, even when you put your what do you call, your vegetables, they still hold shape, they don't get mushy, or they hold shape. So try it. I'm telling you, it doesn't disappoint. This is another day, very early in the morning, and I woke up with putting in my sheets into the washing machine. I only have 2 sets of sheets that I use, but my husband says the other set is, it feels cheap. So he doesn't want it. We don't use it. I have it, but he doesn't like it. So I only use 1 set of sheets. And the funny thing is that those sheets, I bought them in one place. So I don't know how he came about to say this one doesn't feel good and this one feels good. I don't know, but that's what he says. So I only use one, so which means I have to wash and put back. So that's what I was doing on this day. It was very early in the morning. You can see my husband and Kara, they just came back from the walk. I didn't go for a walk. I wanted to catch up on what we call house chores. I have a lot, you will see. And please do not ask me where this has been. It has been somewhere. I have a space for it. So today we are going to be getting to the laundry, the pile of laundry. We're going to be sorting it out today. I've been putting it off. I've been busy. I've been lazy. Listen, I've been everything when it came to me getting to sort out the laundry, and there was a point or a time where I was just disorientated, but we're going to sort it out. It's going to be sorted out soon as we speak. So that's what I'm going to be doing now, while my sheets are going in the washer or in the washing machine. I'll be sorting out my laundry. I'm not really a label person, especially for clothes, but there was a point in our life where Theo was obsessed with Kappa tracksuits, and we used to buy him a set every year. So what I can tell you is that this red set, he has been wearing it for over 5 years now, and it's still brand new. He had 2 other ones, the black ones. The tops of it are still like top notch, but the bottoms are the ones that are worn out, like they're finished, because he has a thing for black things, so he wore them more than this. But at that point, I didn't understand why we were supposed to buy such expensive clothes, considering that it would be like the budget that we would allocate for him, for because we buy clothes once a year in my house. It would practically go, almost of it go into that. So but now that we are here, and then he wanted variety, and then we are buying in other stores, I'm realizing that actually this was a good buy, because they last for a very long time. So it's something like it could be a collection, could collect it. And I feel like when he had them, we never had to worry about him not having decent clothes or enough clothes. But I would say, if you have a boy or young boy, you can buy him those and mix them in with the cheaper ones. But this has been a good buy, a great buy, to the point where I think if I come across money, I will invest in 3 more for him, so that you have decent ones, decent pair of tracksuits that he can wear whenever there's a need. But he'll also have other ones that are just simple or just non-branded. But personally, the only reason I would be buying them is the quality. I'm all about quality, guys. I don't wanna keep going back to the store every single time. I tried the China Mall tracksuits. Nah. That was a letdown. I don't know. I didn't like it. So yeah, if you have a child, you can please try and invest in, or it doesn't have to be Kappa, but I can speak about Kappa because that's the one that he liked. But this type of tracksuit, at least once a year, get him one. You will not regret it. ever. Boys are expensive, we all know that, but it's better to spend and then you know that he's got decent clothes that you won't have to worry when he needs to go somewhere. But for quality, I would suggest it. In my home, it's only three of us, but the laundry never stops. And if there's a point where we are traveling, there's traveling involved, it gets even worse because I don't really wear a lot of clothes because I don't go anywhere. But when we travel, I'm forced to kind of dress up or wear decent clothes or my clothes. So the laundry gets crazy. But if we don't go anywhere, it's okay. It's not a problem. But I sure miss the times where Theo was going to school and wearing uniform, because whenever he came back from school, he would just wear his PJs and he could wear them for 2 days or 3 days sometimes. Now, oh my God. The amount of laundry that I have, I don't know. I thought it was going to be cut in half. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong, so wrong. So I don't know what I did here. I think I put too much in my washing machine and then it didn't drain enough. So I'm going to continue and I'm going to run it again to spin and drain the comforter that I had put in there. The pillowcases and the sheets, it's okay. I can just, I can just hang them. It's not a big deal. They are light, but the comforter, I need it. Is it a comforter or it's a bedspread? The bedspread, I need it to drain. I need it to not dry it. I don't know the way to drain, because it was still very wet. So I ran it again to try and drain it, and then the sheets and the pillowcases, I will just hang them as they are. I want to make a sandwich later tonight for dinner, so I'm quickly just going to make pickles and pickle them for a couple of hours while I will still be busy with other things and preparing other things like the rolls and so I just sliced up the cucumber, half cucumber, and one red onion. If you have a full cucumber, you can still use that. I only had one. Put it in a bowl together. You can do it separate, but I chose to do it as in same bowl or same place. And I added salt, Himalayan salt, and then I started massaging both of them into salt. The intention is to help them to drain out the unnecessary water, because we want them to still remain crisp or crunchy. If you leave the salt, if you leave it like that, if you just pickle like that, it's going to be soggy. It gets soggy instead of being crunchy. And then I'm going to let it sit for a couple of hours while the water on the sieve, while the water is draining. And while that was going, I continued into cutting my cabbage. I'm going to pickle it as well. You can slice it thinner than this. I didn't have time to slice it thinner than this, so I just sliced it roughly, as you can see. And I'm also putting salt on top of it. Massage it. Before you're going to finish all of this, I know this might look like a lot of salt, but you will rinse the salt out. Yes, you're just helping it to, how do I put it? You're drawing out the water from it, and then you're going to rinse the salt once you start preparing your pickling what. So I had 2.5 of bread flour, and then I added the half of it, and I added a pack of yeast, 2.5 teaspoons of Himalayan salt, and then I added a couple of tablespoons of olive oil and proceeded into adding my lukewarm water. I would say I used plus or minus 800 mils of water. For these rolls, guys, you can't use cake flour. It needs to be bread flour for it to come out correctly. And if you can afford, your olive oil needs to be extra virgin olive oil, not the ones that we use. Some of us use that is extra virgin oil mixed with the seed oil. You need to use the extra virgin oil. It gives it so much crunchiness when you are eating it, you know. So while everything was, the pickles were going there, and the bread, the dough was proving somewhere. I had been cooking roast beef in an oven, and I'm going to slice it up to the slices that I want, and make sure that I adjust the seasoning to it, and then we will take it from there. So I'm just going to adjust the seasoning with salt and pepper. Make sure that it is well coated. Lately I'm enjoying my meat with just salt and pepper. If I'm not making stew, it tastes so nice, much better. I think it doesn't need a lot of things. So it's still on a little bit of a raw side, and I'm going to cover it again, switch my oven off, and put it in there for 5 minutes with the oven off, and then I'm going to take it out. It will be ready. Earlier on you saw that I mixed my dough roughly. I didn't need it. This is the method. I call it the lazy method. This is the method that I use, but because it's the lazy method, it also takes time to prove, so we are going to be kneading it this way. This was after 1 hour 30 minutes of letting it proof, and then we are going to do this kneading after an hour 3 times more before we can actually get to baking it. So this is a simple way of making bread while you are busy with other things. It doesn't require your attention like fully, and you can do other things while you are doing it. So while that is proving, I'm going to continue to make the pickle juice. So I added vinegar, and I added whole peppercorns, and I added they call them caraway seeds, and I added sugar and aromat. You can use salt. I just like the taste of the top class or aromat thing. So after rinsing the cucumber and the onion and letting it drain for a little while, I'm now going to put it in my jar, and I'm going to bring the pickle juice to the boil. If you're not sure about you making the pickle juice, I do know that Woolworths sell pickle juice. the ready-made one. You can buy that. It's just that you might have to spend a lot of money for something that you could have you could have made at home. I also rinsed the cabbage, and I put it in a jar as well. This is my pickle juice. You can see I did not boil it. It was just coming up to the boil, and I'm going to add it onto my cucumber and onion. For the cabbage, I decided to make it a little bit spicy and add the chilies in there with the remaining juice, and let it sit. I let them cool for an hour or two before I put them in a fridge. And while that was going, I'm going to do a bit of dishes. As you can see, they are sitting there on the counter, and I'm going to try and do the dishes that I was using while making everything that I was making. That white ramekin that you see there by the window, I actually put sunlight dishwashing liquid and vinegar there. It works wonders with the flies. It doesn't get rid of them completely. As you can see, there's a couple of them, but it works wonders. I just put it there now because I saw that it looked like there was a lot, especially if you are handling the meat, it will come out. So if I'm doing something sorry, and I realize that there's a lot of flies, I put the sunlight dishwashing liquid and the vinegar, mix them together and put them there and put it there on the window, and they disappear like they haven't been there. But I always forget. I should do it every single time before I start handling things that I know that they are going to attract the flies. But that's a remedy that I know how it works. And there's also garlic, not the one that we put in our food, wild garlic. I also have that in my yard. Whenever I'm struggling with flies, I would put wild garlic. I would go and cut a couple of leaves, put it in a saucer, and put it in the kitchen sitting room, and they will disappear. But the vinegar and the dishwashing liquid works wonders as well. So I thought that's something that I could share, that I should share with you guys. is going to be the last knit, and we're going to be preparing. We're going to actually be cutting our rolls. I do not know who told me I should wear a white dress. I don't normally wear this dress, but I don't know. I just wanted to be comfortable today, and I was not in the mood for the wrapper. So, but that was big mistake on my part. So I just heavily floured my surface, and I took half of the dough. As you can see, do you remember the first time when you were kneading it? Because I only showed you once, you guys once, how rough it was. Now it's smooth. It's like it wasn't that, you know, what we saw. So I floured my surface heavily, cut my dough into half. I took half of the entire dough that I had made and put it on top. You try it on top of the counter with the flour, and you try not to overwork it, you know. That's I do the, what do they call it, the envelope method. The other side is going to be rough, where I'm going to put it facing down and making sure that the other side is the smoother side. That's how I do it. And from here on, I think you guys know, I use my knife. I think I've made this a couple of times here. If you are new here, this is the panini. It's what we call panini. Yes, we're making panini, yeah, panini rolls. So that's what I'm doing now. And I was able to get 12 rolls out of these rolls, but that's because out of this dough, but that's because I wanted jumbo rolls. So if you don't want jumbo rolls, you can pretty much get out of this, you could get maybe 16 or 18, it depends. I don't even know if I'm doing, if my math is mathing, but you could have easily gotten 12 from this. So could get 24 of medium size rolls, you know. So, and then if you are making the cocktail ones, you can even get more. But I wanted the jumbo ones because I wanted a huge sandwich, and I baked it like that. So these are the rolls after they have been baked, and we are going to start assembling the sandwich. The cabbage is ready. My pickled cabbage is ready. My pickled cucumber is ready. So I'm going to start with 2 sandwiches for my husband. A lot of people comment on my portions, and I always say the first person I dish up for in my house is my husband. And majority of the time, majority of the time, what was I going to say? I even forget. Yeah, but he's the person that I dish up first, and his plate is the one that I take a video of or a photo of, you know. Did you guys see the mistake that I made? Anyway, I applied the mayo, and I'm adding the beef, and I'm going to add the cabbage and then the pickled cucumber and red onion. So I was supposed to put the filling on these first row rolls, because the other ones here are the top ones. Marbari. Did things the other way around. I don't know what the hell. So my bottom were together and my top were together. I don't know why I did this. And I sorry. Can you see? I'm turning it to see what the hell. But anyway, you guys got the idea. So that's how I made my thing. So I'll show you guys the second plate that I made, which was for Theo, though it's in a portrait form. So this one is, I made it right. I made it right. I didn't mess it up like that other one, So, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching up until this far. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. Join the family. We have fun, we cook, we clean, all the good stuffs. I hope to see you on my next video. Bye.